welcome to episode 33 of Real Estate TV. Today's episode is a little bit different, obviously, because of the little bit different climate we find ourselves in. Now, obviously, I'm referring to COVID-19, or the coronavirus, and the potential impacts that it is going to have on the real estate industry. Now, the reason I'm making this episode, there are two reasons. Number one, there is a ridiculous amount of information out there, and it is massively confusing to understand what could happen. And I must stress that this is a what could happen video. Nobody knows. And a lot of people are coming out and saying that they do know, and this is what's going to happen. Nobody knows. I mean, this is not a normal crash. People are dying. People are actually losing their jobs. And we're about to go through a recession. Potentially. Most likely, we're about to go through a recession. And there are a lot of companies putting their opinions out there at the moment, and the media are putting their opinion out there at the moment as fact, and nobody really knows. So I'm making this video to do something a little bit different to what other people are doing and talk about the opinions and what could be right. But let's dive in. So the two opinions that I found at the moment are on the right. We've got the media. I say the right. I don't mean the correct or the left or the right. Wings just happen that I've got two hands. One's left, one's right. On the right, you've got the media saying that the property market is going to come off by 20 to 30%. Not could, not might, not maybe. Will come off by 20 to 30%. Nobody knows. No one has a crystal ball. I don't have one. I've got a pen. No crystal ball. Nice vase. No crystal ball. I'm not pretending that I know. I'm talking about what could happen. And on the left, you have property professionals and large-scale organisations that operate within the real estate industry, protecting their investment and saying clearance rates haven't dropped, prices haven't dropped, everything's fine. If you're about to buy something, do it. I mean, the coronavirus can't touch us. We're real estate, which is fucking ridiculous, to be honest with you. Everyone knows that the real estate industry is a big, slow-moving beast. It doesn't mean it's untouchable. It just means it takes longer for property prices to fall. Now, the reason for that is the stock market crashes like that because to sell, you click a button on a phone these days. You can do it while you're walking down Chapel Street relatively easily. But to sell property, it is a long thing. People don't just buy and sell property like that. People buy and sell property slowly. So that is why the property industry moves slower. So I think this opinion on the left of everything's fine makes me a little bit sick, to be honest with you. I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to make sure that there's not fear in the market. But I personally couldn't live with myself by saying that the market's fine, there's nothing wrong, taking a 10% deposit from a first home buyer and then their property is worth nothing like that. That would leave me not sleeping at night, but I'm a different beast to other people, I guess. And then on this side, there could be a bit of truth to that 20-30%, but they don't know and they're presenting it like fact. That's what upsets me. So nothing I say here is fact. This is an open discussion, some thoughts I have, but what I want to do to start is talk about this side, this 20 to 30% come off. So let's talk about 20%. I bought my house for $335. I was theorizing with someone the other day that it's probably an agent buddy in the area. We were saying it could be worth $410. Cool. So if it dropped by 20%, it'd be worth $82,000 less, which is $333 or something like that. So if I sold today, it would be worth 20% less. And I'd lose $2,000. Now, the important thing to remember is you only lose money in property when you sell. You don't lose money in property when you're holding and your number on a paper's different. You haven't lost any money yet. So you only have to sleep in your bed when you make it. So don't make your bed for a couple of years. Hold your property a bit longer if you can service it. And if you've bought a 65 square mansion that you've just worked out you can't afford anymore because we're about to go into a recession, you get the lesson you deserve. Yeah, don't buy big properties. Anyway, the upshot of that, if it does come off, first home buyers are going to have this awesome opportunity. What the coronavirus means for them, if you're cashed up, If you haven't lost your job and your job's relatively secure, I mean, if you're a nurse and a school teacher, you're probably going to be able to keep your job. You're in this situation right now where you're about to be presented with a time machine where you'll be able to step in and go back 10 years and buy property from then. How fantastic is that? I mean, property, that doesn't happen. You're being thrown a lifeline. We've all been talking, me included, about the fact that property is far too expensive for first home buyers. Well, it's about to be cheaper. So what I'm saying to you is, and heed this, please heed this, don't fuck about. If you have cash, if you have borrowing capacity, pre-approval, don't fuck about. If you have some cash, get in small, like what I did and what everyone says you should be doing. Buy something a bit smaller. You don't need a 48 square house in Berwick. Buy something little. Get in, because you're being thrown a lifeline. Now, would I rush out and go do it tomorrow? Probably not. To be honest with you, why don't we wait until we're allowed outside again? Keep an eye on things though. What I would be doing is I'd be monitoring supply and demand. The way I would do that is I would sign up to realestate.com. They send you an email every Saturday night with auction clearance rates. When you watch the auction clearance rates stop going down, when you start to see it come back up, that is the ultimate time to buy. Now, you're going to see a lot of stuff in the media about why it's a shit market, terrible, blah, 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 property prices down. Those are all alarm bells in my head for I should be buying. My philosophy in property is if the media is saying don't buy, that is probably the time at which you should be buying because things are cheap. Why would you want to pay in a boom market? I mean, everything's overpriced. So I think we're all being thrown a lifeline as a first home buyer. Well, not me, but you are being thrown a lifeline as a first home buyer. Don't piss around. Get something. Get something you can afford. Don't get something big. You're going to watch a whole lot of people who have big houses put them on the market because they can't afford to run them anymore because they're expensive to run. It's not worth it. Get something sensible and get in. Debt's cheap. Interest rates are low. Interest rates have never been this low. I just think it's a perfect storm for first home buyers. So I'm putting this video out as a plea. Please take the opportunity. It might be the difference between you getting in. This thing might be the reason you get in, and you might not have got in 6 months ago, to be frank with you. But I guess on that note, if you have any specific questions, please put them in the comments down below. If you don't feel comfortable, you're more than welcome to direct message me, but I would encourage you to put them in the comments because it means they're public and everyone can see them and more people can learn. I'll be real with you. I don't really sell first home buyer product. This video doesn't make me any money at all. So this is not a money thing for me. This is about everyone learning. I would absolutely love someone to call me in 3 years and say, I watched your video and I did what you said and I got in. I wouldn't have got in. You're right. It wouldn't have happened. That would warm my heart. That is why I make these videos. So on that note, if you know someone who might be good for this video, who this video might be good for, please share it with them. Whether it's, I don't know who it is, you know who it is, share it with them. But yeah, on that note, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like. If you haven't, leave a thumbs down. Let me know and roast me in the comments. Tell me what's going on in the comments. If you disagree with me, get passionate in the comments. Let's have a discussion. But thank you so much for watching. And until next time, which will be episode 34, keep your social distance and your hands washed and all the other bits and pieces that good old ScoMo is telling us to do. See you guys.